Ngiyabonga sanibonani. Igama Umbali from City Press Media 24. During the minister's media briefing of EDS TV Delicious, I had said, Uguti, how are we as media gonna go back to artists and sports stars and sports professionals to say to them, Uguti, look, Minister Mckenzie is not the same as previous ministers who would only make promises and not deliver. How are we as media going to say that to artists and sports practitioners if our own promises that the minister has made to us have not been kept? We, the City Press team, we've been trying to get a one-on-one with the minister since before the day of the days of the Olympics. We were told that this would happen when the minister came back from Olympics. It didn't happen. It took a while, and then we eventually managed to speak to the minister's team at the DSTV Delicious to say, Uguti, can we please request this? Because we understand that the minister is going to be doing a media briefing with everybody, but we wanted to do it differently because we also wanted the interview to be, there's a particular way that we wanted to do the interview, which would not be served if we did it in this kind of a setting. So this has still not happened, and now when the minister says to the public that they must not listen to media practitioners that have not spoken to the minister, they must only listen to the practitioners who have spoken to the minister. Who are those people? Because we have been begging for a meeting with the minister for more than 2 months, but it hasn't happened. So then, I'm trying to understand what it means when you say, don't speak to the people who haven't spoken to me, because there seems to be, if I can go ahead and just call it gatekeeping, where the minister is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dottie, please introduce yourself, the name, and then the media house.
Good afternoon, everyone. Benjamin Leshoro from Newsroom Africa. Minister, just 2 points from your first 2 points that you addressed, the elephant in the room. You say there was nothing abnormal about your trip to Paris, but is there any way you believe the expenditure could have been reduced in line with your cost-cutting policies since coming into office? And you said you should not be compared to Mama Joy, but super fan expenditure was also normalized in previous administrations. Do you think that's something that's made normal also under your administration in terms of expenditure for the minister could be changed as well? Like I said, in line with your policies of cost cutting. And also, there's pushback from the big unions. You spoke about the private equity deal, potential deal between SA Rugby and Akeli Sports Group. There's pushback from the major unions, the Sharks, Lions, Western Province, and I think the Bulls. Have you heard from them as to what their concerns are with regards to this deal, and where do you stand with regards to that commercial arm, a stake in the Springboks or SA Rugby's flagship brand being sold to that particular company? Thank you.
Please give it to Tammy.
Thank you very much, Tammy from Creative Talks. My question, Minister, there are policies that have been adopted by Parliament, but the department has been very quiet about them. One is the revised white paper that was adopted in 2022. The second one is theatre and dance policy that was adopted, but DSEC has not communicated with the sector in terms of implementation and how to do that. Is there any plans from your side about that? Thanks.
Thank you. The last hand for now is at the back.
Good morning, Minister. Alpha Ramushwana here. I'm a journalist from Eyewitness News in 7. The EFF has mentioned that it refer you to the ethics committee for quote unquote the abuse of state funds and state resources. Of course, this is in connection with your trip to France. What do you make of the EFF referring you to the ethics committee? Are you faced by the referral? Secondly, of course, you're reflecting on your first 100 days in office. You know, people have opposing views on your first 100 days in office. Some believe that you're too excited to be a minister. And we've heard some saying that you are answering too much to Twitter. I mean, even this issue of the France issue, you were putting everything out on social media. Firstly, don't you think perhaps that maybe you should put down the phone a little bit and not answer to Twitter as you do answer? And secondly, I also want to know, what do you make of people saying you are too excited? Do you see it as a mistake, or do you think that's exactly how you should be? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Minister?
Can I answer the first one? I think the issue of city press, thank you for the question, but I also think that when I went to Delicious, I made time to speak to yourself while I was there. So it's not that you didn't see me, but seeing that you have questions, the staff in my office, it was my instruction not to see any media. When I was referring that they mustn't listen to media that has not spoken to me, I even went further, the part that you omitted, I said, these are the media you should listen to that's here today. So you are here today, they must listen to you. Then I can assure you that if you want to see me tomorrow, we can make time before this weekend, and I will give you that one-on-one. Thank you very much. The second from newsroom, saying that, I say there's nothing abnormal. I want us to don't do wordplay. There's a ministerial handbook that guides what ministers should and should not do. I have done absolutely nothing. I didn't even know what car awaits me when I got there. I didn't even know who will find me there. I didn't even know how these things work. I'm not the first minister to fly. I'm not the last minister. Show me where have I done wrong, because the ministerial handbook does not guide Mama Joy. It guides me. That's so I've done nothing wrong there, so I will not fall in the trap that the DA is laying for me. You want to prevent me from going outside and go and do my work. I will not do that. I'm going to do the work to the best of my ability. I'm not these ministers that get coward, now must now change. You know, I'll make you an example, and I want to be clear on this issue. They took me to meet with the president and the ministers from countries were at the house in Paris, where we were addressed by the police minister. When we got there, they wanted, on the car, they wanted the sticker that say you should be there. The driver said, no, minister. They say, no, sticker. Marlies had to go and take a sticker out of a bag which he had. He said, go back, put sticker and come. Now imagine if I rocked up, there was an Uber. Let's just be practical. You know, it's nice to talk and say you're wasting money. But the facts of the matter is that when I get there, I'm being told, Minister, you're going to this side of Paris now. Now I must call an Uber. Then everybody else that's there for the Olympics is calling an Uber. And then they cancel my trip. If I miss the engagement, you're still going to fight with me. He went on a joyride. He didn't go to the meeting. You know, there's something that the DM taught me. She taught me something when I became a minister. Is Homuyamasato. Yeah, Homuyamusate. Yeah, what that means, it's one of the most powerful lessons I learned in life. They say when you have the kings, when you see the king's cattle roaming the street, if you don't take that cattle back, you are in trouble. And if you take the kettle back and they caught you with this kettle on the way taking it back, you must say, what are you doing with the king's kettle? The rules is not written by Gayton Mckenzie of traveling. I don't sit with a laptop and book a flight. Pre me becoming a minister, I've never booked my own flight. I've got people doing that for me. So I can't come here and plead guilty to something for rules that I've not set up. I can promise you, if all the ministers can give their traveling expenses, you are not saying, hey, you actually saved money by not staying another 19 days. I came back. The president approved my travel. What is the problem of the EFF? The problem with the EFF is because they are not the minister. I am living what they've been fighting for so long. They were insulting me, called me a bandit. Now they must say honorable. It is hurtful, I understand. And that hurt sometimes find expression in nonsensical answers that they talk about me or questions. I do believe that the cost was put up by the demand of cars in the Olympics, the demand of hotels. I went on my own cost cutting. My children went to Dubai September last year. Go check which hotel they stayed at. Go check which hotel my kids stayed at. Go check what we flew going there. Then you'll understand this excitement you're talking about. I'm not excited for perks. This is a downgrade for me. I am not this minister that will be told blue lights excite me. When we got new cars, as a minister, and you guys will make accusations, but you won't be answered. When you put me in a BMW, or in a Mercedes-Benz, I jumped at the union buildings, or where I got my car, I jumped out of a more expensive personal car to go into the government car. So I can't be excited. I'm here because this is a labor of love for me. That's what excites me, that I can change people's lives. It's true, I'm excited to be a minister because I've got the power now. I fought. I walked in the rain. People walked in the snow, in the storms for me to be a minister. The PA people fought very hard for me to be there. I'm excited. Imagine the people that was voting for me, that walked so that their lives can become better, and then when they got the opportunity to go into the GNU, the leader said, Harifuni GNU. No, I can't do that to people. People wanted me to get power. I now have power to change lives. So this thing of exciting, I want to kill it right here. I have never booked my own flights. I have people booking my flights. This thing of ministers, I have to now behave within the ministerial handbook. I asked the ADG, what is the ministerial handbook saying? She says, you can't do that. I was flying to Cape Town, my first flight. I was sitting in economy class because the ADG told me the ministerial handbook wants me to fly economy class. And I found other ministers sitting in business class. And I went to peace. I said, why are me and you sitting in economy class? The other ministers sat there. She said, no, it is their miles. They've been ministers for long, so they accumulated miles, and they're using their miles. I said, oh, okay. So I'm not excited, number one, for these things that they think is perks, staying in a hotel. It's my first time being abroad, staying in a hotel that's not 5-star. I'm not excited for those things. I'm not, even this car they got me, that Mercedes, I will never drive that car here at home in my own life. So I'm not excited for those. Number two, and lastly, the issue where they say they took me to the ethics committee, it's their right. They can take me wherever they want to take me. It's their right. EFF needs to be relevant. And Gayton Mckenzie is now the most relevant name at the moment in this country. If they talk about Malema, people don't listen, so they have to talk about Gayton and Malema so he can get the shine that I'm experiencing now. That's the truth. They talk, they are Gayton crazy. They're obsessed with me. And I enjoy that because I'm a minister. So, in the last question of the white paper, also, I'm coming to Newsroom's question. The issue of the pushback from the unions. My job as the minister is to listen to people. The reason why I asked for a postponement, I didn't demand a postponement. I asked for a postponement, which was granted, was to listen to what the unions are complaining about. Before December, I will be able to answer this question, to say what is it the unions are complaining about. Your question, what do I think of the deal? I can tell you, if I had to do the deal, the rugby deal myself, I would have pushed for more terms from our side. I would have done a different deal, but we are different. I don't know, I'm not a rugby administrator. So, number one of your question, I'm going to hear what the complaints are. Number two of your questions, I just think that we can push to get more. All Blacks did the same deal, and they got more money. So I think that actually maybe they must push them for more money. But, you know, I'm just glad that there's foreign direct investment in the country also. That people believe in our country to invest 1.3 billion. But now, let's hear what the unions say, and let's implement. For the person that says I must put my phone down, let me answer you very nicely. Of 702. Before I was a minister, we have in the PA, which is called com-op. Every PA member knows what it is. It is me speaking. You want me to put my phone down so you can lie about me. Now I'm on my phone so people can hear firsthand. The Daily Maverick wrote an article and say I walk around carrying a gun. I don't have a gun. I'm not allowed to carry a gun. Now I can answer and say you talk nonsense. They say I was having a joyride. It is my phone that makes me defend myself. If the president called me today and say, put your phone down or you're no longer a minister, I will not put my phone down. I will resign and thank him for the opportunity because I'm not going to be a forever minister. I'm not going to make this post change me. I still want to be G that people know out there. This thing will not make me mad. I don't take a salary. In fact, today, I got a salary. I said I'm going to buy 100 tickets. How many tickets I said, Bakang? 200 tickets. Now, when I look at my salary, I think Makatsi is such a great artist. I am now, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, I'm going to give tickets away because I'm no longer buying 200 tickets for the Makatsi concert. I'm now buying 600 tickets for Makatsi's concert, 9 o'clock on my phone. Even if you want a ticket, you check me there on my phone. I'm going to give thing. Then, because people lie. They lie about you. And Twitter has given me opportunity to refute the lies. The people that believe in me, when there's a story about me, you know what they say? Let's wait for the minister to answer. Then we will know the truth. I will never put my phone down. And you mentioned that people say I'm too excited. You know my first job in life? Honest job. Let me put it that way. My first honest job in life was cleaning the toilets in prison. That was my first job. That was the first honest job I got, to clean the toilets in prison and the corridor of the executive. Ask everyone. I see one or two people here that come from jail. Ask them, there's Houston and them. I would sing there in the corridor. I would be friendly. I'll be making jokes. Those people there, they would be like, why are you always in such a good mood? It's not a ministerial post that makes me happy. I am naturally not a miserable person. I'm a happy person, not because of the job. I am naturally happy. I'm the leader of the PA. I'm happy. Ask the people. Last night I was talking to people. We make jokes. Ask my guys that has been guarding me. We make jokes all the time. When the judge was swearing me in Zondo, I was making jokes. This is who I am. I am happy to be alive, not to be a minister. Do you know my kids has asked me to resign? Because they say, he's so tired. Why don't you just leave this ministerial thing? We always see you in the news. So I'm not excited for the minister's post. I'm excited for being able to serve South Africans. That's what I'm excited for. And I will be reshuffled one day. I'm not those people that think I will not be reshuffled. And when I get reshuffled, you will still find me in the street being happy. If I can be happy in a prison cell, I was the joker in jail. If I can be happy in a prison cell, how can I be set in cabinet? The white paper, you know, we are busy with negotiations with the lottery and everybody to help the arts more substantively, to talk to corporates. We have just spoken, we are talking to R&B Bank. We are talking to different people behind the scenes. We can't really talk much about that because the negotiations are still ongoing. And we are talking to MultiChoice. We are talking to them to say, how can you help us? MultiChoice came back and said, this is how we can uplift the creatives. But those discussions are still ongoing. The white paper, as I've mentioned here, we are going through all of the things because there's some things there, take it from a creative, take it from a best-selling author that I just think is exploitation. How some of these things were agreed upon. Now, I don't want to bury artists with no money. I just want to go and pay my respects at the funeral, not go and pay for the funeral. So, I promise you, very soon, with all the sectors, we are going to sit with them and ask them, can we change here, can we change here, can we change here? Artists are one part of the conversation. We, the people that is being put in charge of arts in this country, is the second part of the conversation. A third part of the conversation is the corporates. A fourth part of the conversation are the people that we are performing for. So you can't just have one view, the minister's view. We must listen to all the views. So the different papers that are there, I don't want to sign a paper which I've not read. Because it will happen under my watch. Imagine if the papers get signed and there's something that's exploitive to artists, how will I defend something while I'm the minister? Like the one of fair use. I'm fighting that thing, it's in the papers that people want me to sign. I will never agree to fair use, because fair use say you can't set a price to your music. You can't set a price to your art. We can't have that. So all I'm asking is for a little bit more patience. As you can see, the 100 days, we were very busy. But we are going to sort it out. We are serious about this job. We are excited to deliver to. We have higher ambitions, some of us. Imagine if we can't even run this department. Tomorrow, how can we say, no, we want to go higher than being a minister? We can't. So I want to be successful in this department. I want to deliver. Because people are looking at me more than they look at any other minister. So I can't be setting my foot wrong. I need to check and recheck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. We'll take another round of hands. Can I ask that we stop at 15:15 if Minister and DM are allowing us so that we can go for lunch? Minister did promise that he is available after this so he can talk to the media. So I'll start, Ngawe Putwe first, and then the three hands in the front. And then the last hand, so this time we're taking 6 hands, and that will be it, because we have to be done by 15:15, and Minister and DM will be available after this.
Good afternoon, Shannon Merricks, Kasi Broadcasting Africa, all protocol observed. Minister, technically, the President always said that the ANC made a good move to start the GNU. So for me, I want to say, you did a good move to be a minister, right? So that was a good tactical move. Kenny Kunene is in City of Joburg. You have a MMC in Gauteng. So technically, you've done the right moves. However, your department has failed, one, to communicate with the media. When we want interviews, it's not just most of us have the same problem, and we talk because we are colleagues. To get interviews with you is a problem. Secondly, you know, your department fell in a trap. You're 100 days in the department. Your officials are more than 100 days in the department. They have failed. This Paris issue is not an issue. The rand-dollar-naira exchange, the department should have answered it that way. In South Africa, let's say it's R1 million. In euros, it's 500,000 euros. In naira, you've spent 9 billion. Yeah, no, naira. Naira, it's 9 billion. So your department has failed to use the rand-dollar exchange to answer, and the media capitalize on that, say no, but you didn't stay in Sandton and you paid that amount. You were overseas and so on. The second part, your department had the Boss Barat where they called all media people and all that, entertainment people and all that. We came there the second day by force. Here's the thing, you are not the president of the colours. But in that room, there was not even 2 colours. There's more colours in this room today than in that room of artists, media, and so on, which is something your department failed because they send out those invites. Thirdly, and last, I'll come back for gossip later. The Khoisan, you had a meeting with the Khoisan not as a PAR president, as a minister. Now, the ministerial handbook says when a minister calls a meeting, there must be food, there must be accommodation, there must be transport. The department didn't provide that for the Khoisans, and you are a minister. So they failed, because now it looks like they have discrimination against the Khoisans. All ministers, we attend this event, you were with us at Beachwood Hotel, there's food and all that. Why did the Khoisan not get food, transport, catering for that meeting? Let me end by this. There is a major issue. You are saying the right things, but you are talking of multi-choice, super beds, better way. You're all talking of white monopoly capitalists. But there is a fight in the media industry and the entertainment industry for black owners to get into the space, like the school sports is a good initiative. But now when you give it to multi-choice and DSTV, we're sitting thinking, but they have PSL, they have rugby. So why couldn't you look at small black-owned media houses on that? Thank you. My airtime is done.
Can we have the 3 hands in the front?
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Hawalo Magolego from UFM. Minister, congratulations on your appointment. I see you like the job. I would imagine it's a fantastic position. I want to find out before proceeding, because this is something that makes me and other colleagues uncomfortable, that going forward, are we going to be having a squad of cheerleaders in every press briefing of the department like this, because it's not consistent with how we deal with government as media. I shouldn't have people that are pleased or not pleased with my questions. It's simply not comfortable. And then, Minister, these prison stories, are we ever going to see an end to them? There's a section of society. Can I proceed peacefully? Yeah, please. Yes, there's a section of society that really disapproves of them, and I'll explain why. They are saying that the minister seems to come across as suggesting that there's no credentials to him. He's only known for being a jailbird. It can send a wrong message in a country where we already have serious levels of crime, that young men could be misled into believing that they need to be initiated and in prison in order to earn their strides in society. Is that still going to be the approach going forward? Thank you.
Please pass the mic. 2 questions per person, please. Name and media house.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Sisanda Mbolekwa from the Sunday Times. 2 questions for you, Minister, regarding the controversial Olympics trip that has gained a lot of traction and questions around it. We've noticed that there are material discrepancies in the communication that you've posted. Firstly, the letter that you've written to the department seeking clarity around the cost breakdown is dated the 15th of October 2024, while the response from the department is dated 5 days before that, which is the 10th of October. So was this human error? Please, can you kindly explain that discrepancy? Secondly, when the Deputy Minister was presenting, she spoke of plans to upgrade and refurbish dilapidated sports infrastructure that have been neglected over the years. We've come to understand that in certain cases, there are tenders that have been issued out to service providers to build or fix these sports facilities across the country. Now, before the department spends more money, will there be a fact-finding mission and investigation of sorts to figure out or follow the money trail, rather, to find out who are these service providers that have been tasked with these projects but have not been delivered, and will we be seeing maybe the department pursuing criminal charges against this corruption that has seemingly been done? Thank you very much.
And goes to Sanda next.
Okay, thank you very much, Program Director. My name is Good Hope Ledwaba. I'm from Westside FM in the West Rand. Minister and Deputy Minister, thank you very much for the 100 days, for your contribution. Well, my question will sound more even of a comment. Our radio station happens to be one of the community radios that support spinning. We've been promoting spinning. We have an annual event that we've been hosting for the past 8 years. The event is called the Freedom Day Spin Fest. It happens every year on the 27th of April. Minister, we've been following your journey, especially throughout the spinning fraternity, you formalizing, and we want to thank you for taking, a stand and making sure that a proudly South African sport, it's formalized. It gets sponsors. We appreciate you and we respect you for that. But there's just something that we want to highlight, because we've been following all your journeys, all the events that have been hosted, others, in your name, obviously honoring your contribution, and also the gala dinner that took place in Cape Town. I want to understand, why is there no inclusion of other provinces within? Because we feel that, and I don't like using this word, but you'll excuse me for using this, because that's what, that's how it seems, to say, is this thing for the colored community only, or is it for everyone? Because growing up in the spinning fraternity, we grew up, colored, black, Indians, even whites, we grew up as one. And we feel that, Minister, as much as we love the work that you are doing in our industry, kindly include everyone to be included. All provinces do normal procedures of, doing consultation, so that everyone becomes included. And lastly, I'm part of the National Community Radio Forum. And Minister, we from the community media fraternity, we would be very, very much happy, as much as I heard you talking about the policy on copyright of musicians. We've got serious challenges. We are community media sector. We are the one developing artists, making sure that artists get more airtime from the community media sector. And there are serious challenges that, as a community media fraternity, would want to engage with your department, because we believe that you can help resolve issues, especially with your SAMRO and your, I forgot the other one, that collects royalties. Who would want to engage the minister, the department, and, to resolve issues around it? Thank you.
Thank you. The last two hands, one at that one at the back, and then the other one right at the back. And that will be those will be the last two hands. He's got the mic already at the back.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Simasa. Ashwani Mtimkulu, Minister from ENCA. Maybe the first question is, in terms of your involvement with all the different federations and also with the individual athletes, do you have a benchmark in terms of when for sport, when you get involved in an issue? Because we saw you get involved, for example, with Lukolo when he didn't go to the Paris Olympics, but there was an athlete for the Paris Paralympics who didn't get picked and he felt he needed to get picked. And we've seen issues with Swimming SA and some of their swimmers as well. So, and we've seen you sort of get involved in some of these things. So is there, and it seems a little bit ad hoc, so is there sort of a benchmark where you get involved, and do you not run the risk of just sort of being all over the place, really, in terms of when you do and don't get involved in sort of these sporting disputes? Also, these disputes happen a lot, so that's why I'm asking, is there a benchmark? Would you just sort of get involved as and when it does come up? And then the other question is, I know you signed the school sport MOU with the Department of Basic Education. There's been an MOU that's been signed before. School sport has been a conversation that's been going on. We've done the court handovers, we've done the kit handovers, we've done all of these sorts of things. But if you've had this MOU, if there was an MOU in 2018 between the former ministers, if other ministers have been speaking about this thing, clearly there's something that's gone missing, and maybe an admission on your part that something is going wrong and has gone wrong in the past. So what exactly is so different about what you've signed now? And what are the timelines so that we're not here in 2027 or 2028 with new ministers and they are saying, oh, look at us, we're signing a new MOU. We've been here before.
Thank you very much, Hloni. The last hand, right at the back.
Okay. It's Mahudi Molapa from SABC News. Minister, firstly, I would like to say we do see your effort and we are very impressive of the work that you've done so far. And I still remember how it was watching a rugby match on SABC and what it has done to the people back at home. Just out of curiosity and also a follow-up question, I remember the last time we were at Netball SA, we were with the president of Netball, Cecilia Mulukwani, and she did mention that the 2 million that they get from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, it's like a drop in the ocean. And also, judging from the sponsorship that they do get, when you compare, it's not enough. And she also mentioned the netball court not being built in, I think it was in Limpopo, I stand to be corrected. Just a follow-up question of any developments on that and going forward, how that is going to be, done.
Thank you very much. I think I will give Minister Ndiema an opportunity to answer. As I've said that this is the last round, but Minister Ndiema have promised that they are going to be here. So after lunch, we still have an opportunity to talk to them. Minister Ndiema.
Well, thank you. The question that was being asked about the issue of the letter and the date, I'll give the person that I wrote to. She sat next to me, ADG Cynthia Kubala.
Thank you, Minister, and good afternoon to everyone. The Minister wrote to us yesterday, on the 16th of October. We responded on the same day. The 10th at the bottom of the letter was a typo, but if you look at the signature date in the letter, it does reflect when the letter was actually compiled and forwarded and responded to.
Thank you very much. And then I'll give over to the Deputy Minister.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, Sisanda. A very important question indeed. Just to mention that a few days ago, I had a meeting with the sports infrastructure and facilities management, and we were preparing for the ceremony in Polokwane for sports facilities that were built in 2002 to be handed over. And there was a request of almost 500,000 to do some refurbishment and fix few broken things that were there. But when I looked at the pictures, the infrastructure looked quite very well. And the only thing that needed to be done there was just to clean the facility. And I refused that we should refurbish any facility that was built in the last 5 years. And we reflected on the policy. And the policy of the department says that a facility will have 15 years warranty unless there is a poor workman's problems that are there. So if there's no poor workmanship, there is no way that we can go back and spend money. Instead, the money that was eyed for that project, it is now going to Ulundi, where there is no sporting facilities at all for a community that is more than 8,000 in population, Minister, and only one high school that is in that community. So we won't be fixing. Communities must look after the facilities. After 15 years, that is when we can come and do some upgrades. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to go quickly through the answers. The one where they say the officials failed to talk about Naira and Euros. The question was not asked to the officials. It was asked by the minister. If the officials answered, they would have told them, we didn't ask you. They asked me, I asked the officials. This is the lady next to me I wrote the letter to. She's just giving an explanation. I saw also the typo, but then I went to the stamp and I saw. So there was no failure. If I'm the minister, I must account. So when they ask me a question, I must account. Then the issue that you talk about, not being coloreds, that's not entirely correct. Because in Mitchell's Plain, I remember, there's a group of musicians that was flown down. Because I know, because I was with them in the flight. I think it was like 12 of them. Some even from the Mitchell's Plain Music Academy. So maybe where you were standing outside, you just saw 2 coloreds, but there was really more coloreds there than 2. Then the issue where you say we didn't give food transport to the Khoisans for the meeting. That's also not correct because the meeting is only on Saturday, which is this Saturday coming. And I know I signed off on the transport, I signed off on the food, I signed off on that. So that meeting has not happened yet. It's still going to happen. And the last one, I don't subscribe to the thinking, the bedways and the multi-choices. They give us money for sports development. Now you want me to go and take money from emerging black companies. They don't even sometimes have money to cover their overheads. So why must I now go and burden them? They are struggling. I must ask them for money. I go to the corporates that are established and white monopoly capital and those, that's not how my thinking works. I am myself a capitalist with a social outlook on life. So we go to people that give us money. The question here to say, will there always be cheerleaders present? Today is not a normal press conference. It's a press conference where I come and account to the South African nation and to the people that put my name forward to become a minister. So I must account to them. So it will not always be cheerleaders. Then the second question you also ask about the jailbird, don't I have other credentials? You particularly said in meetings of EFF, press conferences, why didn't you ask them why they keep on referring to me as a jailbird? So you want me to be silent while you are also silent like you? You never asked me. You said there, you must ask them why do you keep on referring. Once they say a bandit, and I say nothing, which means I agree to the label. So you must start that question. Then you say, people will look at it, my brother, we don't come from the same communities. You see, in my community, gangsterism is rife. In my community, tomorrow, more than 10 people are going to die because of gang wars. And they think, in my communities, gangsters are being idolized. in my communities, a young kid grow up and he wants to be a gangster. In my community, a child that is in conflict with the law at the age of 10 think he doesn't have a future. And he needs a Gayton Mckenzie that has been in conflict with the law to see that there's another way. Making one mistake, you're not condemned to the dustbin of being a gangster for the rest of your life. In prison, families of prisoners are using my name when they tell their children to change, to say, look at Gayton Mckenzie, you can turn your life around. I can't change my past, but I can change my future. And me mentioning I was in jail, and I'm not proud of it, but I want to show people that you can make a mistake and become better. You don't need to remain who you used to be. And if I go to Eldos, to Mitchell's Plain, to Galvandale, in our communities, people see me there and they're happy. And they see me as that it is possible that you can change your life. So I don't mention jail because I like being referred to coming from jail. That label has cost me a lot. But I've got a duty to say, you can change your life. You can become better. Right. Then the issue of the ENCA's question about where does it stop? You see, once you ask us for money, SAFA asks us for money, SARO asks us for money, assuming South Africa asks us for money, I will never be a minister that's not allowed to speak where I give you money. Because that money belongs to the public. So if they don't want money from us, if they don't want us to talk, they must not take our money. Because we are responsible to spend the money of the state wisely. Now, when we give you money, we call you. And our interference will be, we'll stop the money. But we have developed a relationship where we are being listened to. Like with Kolo Adams. I just thought that he needs to be at the Olympics. And we said we will pay for him. But he was the one at the end that said he's not going there if he doesn't run. I didn't have the power to make him run, but the power for him to go there and be part of the experience. So there is where our power stops. We have enough trust in some of the federations to know that they will take sports to a greater heights. But we are not going to be those people that see wrong things, like let's take VAR. South Africa needs VAR. We are not a 10th world country, we are the global south. And as we are the global south, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, they all have VAR. How come we don't have VAR, but we run the best league in Africa? Do you want our stadiums to be burned down by the supporters tomorrow? Do you want supporters to break the chairs there? Go and see Orlando Stadium today. There's a problem with chairs. They need new chairs. I mentioned that so that you must know that we must go with times. We mustn't be too far behind the European countries that has VAR. And we have a role to play as government in that one. So yeah, we do run the risk to not be interfering in too much into the stuff, but we know where to draw the line. We ask if they don't want to, we then don't give them money anymore. But if they listen to us, we continue to give them money. Then the MOU that is gathering dust. During my speech here, I said, this MOU will not gather dust. There's been previous MOU signed. There's been previous MOU signed, but this one will not gather dust. I can already tell you that Super Sport and SABC is now going to show school sport on their channels. That is the first. It is derived from the MOU between myself and the Department of Basic Education. It is a GNU initiative. It is the Minister of Minister Soli, it is Minister Khwarube, it's Minister Mckenzie. All three of us is responsible now that school sport is going to be shown on SABC. and Supersport. Then the issue of Netball SA. Netball SA is right. That's too little money. They need more money. Because netball is a sport that is very important. And I agree with the president of Netball SA. We have to do better. And we are going to do better. 2 million is not enough for Netball SA. Then the issue of the lack of the spinning that we spoke about. You know, my brother, it's hard to be a minister. In one press conference, I'm being accused that there's no colours. And the next question, there's too many colours. So I can't win. My job is to keep the balance. There's one spinner that is being considered an athlete by Red Bull. He gets paid what Sia Kolisi and them are being paid. Because Red Bull, and it's not a colored spinner. It is Sam. Sam is not a colored. But he is the #1 spinner in this country at the moment that gets paid to spin by a corporate company. I have given 1 million rand 2 months ago for spinning out of my pocket. And they said, what do you want to see? I said, I want to see all provinces being part of spinning. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to get involved. I said, I'm giving you the money, but I want to see all provinces being involved. I want you guys to have 9 provinces. The 100,000 will be for your hotel stay and your petrol. They've done that in 7 provinces so far. Never have I seen white people being excluded or black people being excluded. If you know of any case, please let me know so I can immediately withdraw my money, because my money must not bring racism. This is not a racist sport. And then I want to thank you for the praise that you've given to myself and the DM. I also would like to say that the last issue that was spoken about here is about SEMRO. We are busy with that. We are busy with SEMRO. We are busy with all those things. And to everybody, you know, we are also still learning what is it people want us to do, what bothers the South African public. And we'll always answer your questions as the media. I will be more available. There was no time. If I can tell you, I've missed 3 birthdays of my kids, because since I'm being a minister, I tell you the workload is insane. I've never slept more than 5 hours. We work day and night. But we will make sure, because the media is very important, the people need to know. I will be accessible. Even now, if you want me, I will remain behind and we can talk. And to the people that came, I want to say thank you. For the people of my party that came, I want to thank you also. I specifically want to thank the people of Motorsport. I saw you brought the car outside. I was hoping it's a gift. I'm just joking. And I want to thank the Chief of Staff, Bakang Lituku, and the team in my office. The DM staff, I want to thank them. Bongu and them. But most importantly, I also want to thank the people of DSEC. I want to thank everyone. Because you guys never get the praise. We get all the praise. You guys are working so hard. The team has inherited the best team ever. And because I'm hungry, you're hungry, thank you very much. Let's go have something to eat. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The lunch is going to be served where we were having tea in the morning downstairs. And then I think we'll give Minister No DM about 30 minutes for them to eat. And then Umadi and Upateka and Umtutuzeli were taking the requests from the media that wants one-on-ones. So if you could just go back to them, and then we'll deal with the one-on-ones after our Minister not Thank you very much. Lunch is downstairs.